Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. You can always catch a replay of all of our broadcasts on shrimptankpodcast.com or download us on iTunes. I know you might be podcasting some other stuff, but you've got to get the Shrimp Tank podcast on there. You'll get an MBA course in entrepreneurship every week. I'm your co-host, Ted Jenkin. Sitting here with my co-host, Chris Hanks. We were very, very fortunate today to have on some great guests that flew in from Philadelphia, from Bridge Wealth Advisors. We've had on Leo Gotleib and Matt Bagell, who are partners in the firm, and we were talking all about the business of building a financial planning practice, especially in the area of physicians.
Yeah, and in building that kind of practice, there's a lot of competitors, I would imagine, in that arena. How do you differentiate yourself?
Well, I find that the financial advisors who have a very specific niche are usually more, and who are more specialized, usually have a more successful practice. So our niche is focusing on physicians. We find that most doctors are behind in their financial plan.
I also say planning, differentiating ourselves. It comes down to planning. A lot of doctors being sold products, and they're not really being educated on how to make the right financial decisions throughout their career. And that's really where we want to build from the ground up and improve the services they're receiving.
Yeah, and good financial planning, not the stuff that's on the back of a pad somewhere like a lot of people still do. Now, I noticed in looking at the Bridge Wealth Advisors website that you were all involved in creating a book for doctors, especially as it comes to financial planning. This is all about the myth of the rich doctor. So how did this book come about? How are you involved with it? And how could it impact physicians that you work with?
As we were building our company, we were lucky enough to team up with a consultant, Dr. Vicki Rackner. And really, when we started talking to her, and she was on her, I think this was her 5th publication, the book fit perfectly what we're doing with doctors. You think of doctors, oh, they must be doing really well. But what's happening is they're having to work longer, and they're living longer, and we're trying to really supplement the income they're receiving, possibly when they retire through Social Security, and to live the lifestyle they're living throughout their life and then having to drop down to a different level is really based on the lack of financial planning and decisions they're making throughout their career. So the book really goes hand in hand with our motto and what we're trying to improve.
Very cool.
So with focusing on the doctors, which is seems like a really interesting target market, have you ever had to fire any of your clients?
Yeah, we had a couple. Sometimes the synergy isn't right, where for one reason or another, the client isn't comfortable with our recommendation. So if they're not comfortable with our recommendation, then they should really seek another financial advisor.
Imagine that's really hard to do, firing a client. It's not easy because sometimes, but like all businesses.
Yeah, there's a few that you actually are satisfied after you fire them.
Man.
So, guys, you flew in all the way from Philadelphia, and I guess it would not be a Shrimp Tank podcast post-show wrap-up without asking you a few Philadelphia questions. So I'm just curious, for those that are watching the wrap-up today, where is the single best place to get a Philly cheesesteak? Where is that place to go if I go into Philadelphia?
I think Pat Steaks on South Street.
Man, that was quick, Leo. It sounds like you've had one or two there.
Been there a few times.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jim's on South Street. Been going there my whole life. Father always took me there before we go into the games, and it really can't beat the steak with sauce and onions, pretty much.
You have to get the cheese whiz though.
With the cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz and fried onions.
There's two of them for you, and I guess there's so many tourist attractions in Philadelphia. There's a Liberty Bell, there's a Franklin Institute, there's all kinds of stuff to see. But for a tourist that goes to Philadelphia, is it not true that a Philadelphia Eagles tailgate beats all of those hands down? It beats the Liberty Bell?
Well, I don't think there's anything like it.
I mean, we were just talking earlier, I even made movies. They show, pretty much the scene, what goes on at the tailgate. And for me, I try to go early and get back so I can watch the game, because most people don't make it in, or whatever else goes on at those tailgates.
Well, folks, the one thing you must know is do not wear a Giants jersey in the upper deck of the Eagles Stadium.
For sure.
That will not work for you. But, guys, thanks for coming on the show today. For those folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up, how can they get in touch with you if they need financial planning help, wealth management help, insurance? If they're a physician or a dentist and they want to get the experts, the ones that work with doctors, how can they get in touch with you?
They can contact us at info@bridgewealthadvisors.com. We have a Facebook page, Bridge Wealth Advisors. Also, our website is bridgewealthadvisors.com. So really, we're all over social media, active on the internet, and just contacting us through email we'll be there and obviously make sure we make a difference in your life.
Well, we learned so much from these guys today in the podcast, but the one thing we learned that you can learn as an entrepreneur that they talked about in the show, and you should listen to the entire broadcast on shrimptankpodcast.com, is people from Philadelphia know hard work. And if you work hard at what you're doing, you put the right strategy together, you too can be successful as an entrepreneur. And that is your post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.